What's the deal there? Supreme Islam, West Coast Wise. You should do. You want it early today, West Coast Wise. Do we have some news there today? What's going on over there on the West Coast? Mr. Green One. Yeah, I mean, well, today we didn't have a particular. We didn't. Well, you know what? We now that you said it, let's put it. Let's let's put it in question form. Let's put that there in question form. Yeah, I guess that that's a good name for it, Wise. Who is this? Let me know. Let me know if that's how we doing. We wait for a couple answers to roll in here. We should have, this is not too advanced. We've been kind of, we've been up in the degrees there a little bit. We've been hitting the 140. We got to come down. Take a little drink of water. Don't want to fly too high. Not that, I don't want to too closely, mirror that. But, what's that Greek story of the dude that tried to fly too high? He got his wings burnt. It's not that you can't fly too high, but you do got to come down and take a drink. You see what I mean? Because you could get caught up there, just like you could get caught up down here. You see what I'm saying? So you don't want to get caught up, because see, the body can't go past 6. You read some of this stuff, and you might think you could fly. Icarus, yeah, that was his name. You might think you could fly or levitate, or especially, if you fasting and you mixing this with other knowledge, you could easily be caught up. Woo! See, listen, when I finished the live yesterday, right? When I finished the live yesterday, I remarked to myself that the channel was able to live another day because I avoided speaking on the, Israel versus Palestine conflict, as you call it. This is very. You ever think about being a newscaster? Like working at CNN, you could be the anchor. They see this type of, Israel versus Palestine conflict. That's one of those. That's what they call euphemistic language. It's a little conflict. Look, they've been fighting for thousands of years, man. That's so when over the course of thousands of years, things is gonna get greasy, man. At this point right now, it's levels upon levels of that. You know what I mean? Like any side that you point to and say, look, you're doing this, the other side is going to point because, you got a 2,000-year history of this, with, religious zealots on both sides. That's another layer of it, and then you just got the, in terms of, we here in America, we have things that we call war. I wouldn't compare it to what's going on over there, but just when the war takes place on your turf, right? The collateral damage is going to be yours. That's just the nature, if you just look at war on the news, then all of us, is see we in America where this type of thing don't happen. We don't have that type of sensibility like that. Like we've seen some things. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have a little mass shooting or something, but this is like everything, that kind of gets everybody, concerned over here, to use some of your euphemistic language, is going on over there at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, uh, you know, mass shootings, in, just public places. It's, people being choked out like George Floyd. It's women, children, all types of things. So, but like I said, I don't know what to tell 'em. That's something. Like I said, with it's the religious zealotry, can they even work it out? Luke Cage. So Wise Prince Allah says something that is not nutritious to the mind and body is the wrong food. Shaquem, what's the deal? So yeah, you gotta ask a little question. I don't know if anybody else wants to add on, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that's what I'm saying. Like when you look at it from the religious standpoint, like they family. So you know how, when family is fighting like that, you can't really, you can't, even if you break it up now, they just gonna go home and fight. But we here looking to see uh, how people draw that up. What is the wrong food? Certainly, on a day like today, that would be something that people have taken into consideration. Robbie in the building. I don't know. Are we gonna do the segment today, Robbie? Supreme Seven Born. So Shaquem said the wrong foods is public and private schools.
Yeah, Darkim was saying he got the heat on him.
Al Kim Salam.
Yeah.
You're looking for what is the wrong food?
See.
Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? See, I don't know. Why? I think we got to go back. We might have to bring it back like that because whew. Wise Prince said you want something more specific. Well,
Yeah.
now that you say that, well, let's. Luke Cage says having 6 children with a woman and then finding out none of yours. Uh, Now, what I'm gonna suggest is that you know it's not that fact that's the wrong food. The person was clearly eating the wrong foods, right? For at least you say 6 children, we got to be talking about at least 10 years there. So he was eating the wrong foods for 10 years. That's absolute. Wise Prince said religion, pork, anger, jealousy. Al-Kim Salam said, all things consumed that don't stimulate life and matter. Now, so yeah, I'm starting to get to it, when you say, anything that's not nutritious for the mind and body, all things consumed that don't stimulate life and matter, religion, pork, anger, jealousy. But, you know, uh, the point I wanted to get to, right, is that, uh, you know, food, we have a particular, uh, of course, way that we look at it, right? You know, which is, the different meals that's prepared and we consume it, right? And it, you know, uh, how would you say, it nourishes us, on the most basic level, right? And it satisfies your hunger. You see some of the things that the brother is pointing out here, right? And you got to understand that food is on every level. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's food because it's fuel. You understand what I'm saying? So see, even in certain things, like when they say the belly of the beast, right? If you in the belly of the beast, who's the food? See, that's the nourishment that system needs in order to keep running. Right? Now look, we have other fuel that we also have to consume, right? We need oxygen. That's another type of fuel. So, you know, not only do we have fuel on every level, right? Food on every level, we also got swine on every level. You see what I'm saying? So, these different things that people is pointing out, right? That's on every level. So we deal with it in the basics, right? When you got your dietary law and when you fasted or whatever, right? When you got your dietary law and you fasted, then you might have found out that there's swine in the air and there's swine in the sea, right? Just like a pig is swine on the land, we don't eat that. And certain things that's in the water, we don't eat. Certain things that fly in the air, we don't eat. And now, of course, right, we dealt with that's the body, but then now we dealing with basics, right? And we get a little more specific over time, but certain things that the mind consumes, right? Certain things that we consume mentally, right? Is also, you got swine of ideas. You understand what I'm saying? When you look in the lessons, you can see certain ideas there that you want to stay away from. You may have already been exposed to it, but even living in a society, right? If you got children and you raising them, right? Certain ideas that will, be nourishing to their life. And that is certain ideas that's swine. You see what I'm saying? So everything that you're doing, like getting, you can make money, right? There's swine is making money. King Math, he said, any idea other than I self Lord and Master. Okay, now what do you mean by that? What are you including? in our self, Lord and Master. So we got Mr. Green one said artificially and processed foods. Indeed. Uh, you know, in all reality, let's look at it, right? That stuff is killing people faster than swine. Like if people was eating swine, don't get me wrong, you got the kind of the medical profession has also improved, right? But people was eating swine, they was living, they wasn't getting diabetes and shit until they late 40s and 50s. Now people is, breaking down off of this processed food, you know, cancers, all of these types of things. So, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's like, we've, like we were saying yesterday, scapegoating. So, you don't eat pig and then you don't realize that your dietary law is still fucked up, mentally as well as physically. See, that's why I asked you specifically what you mean by any idea other than our self, Lord, and Master. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't want to get caught up thinking, well, I don't believe in Christianity, so now I'm not dealing with the swine of ideas. Body and Chemistry said the wrong mental foods is religion and false media. And Robbie said low self-esteem, poor hygiene, telling lies and stealing, trying to master the original man. Bill G. Yeah, it hasn't been a minute. I didn't recognize your name, but I recognize your picture right there. King Mav said comparing the 9th and 10th degree in 1 and 10. Okay, you got to catch me up. It was, whatever's the new way that y'all build. I don't know what you mean comparing the 9th and the 10th degree. West Coast Wise said pork, dope, and white women are the wrong foods. Yeah, Mr. Spock. Mr. Spock is in the building for the first time in a minute. If we had the machine, we put some applause there for Mr. Spock, one of the originators. We coming up on the anniversary there. 4 years, Mr. Spock. What is we don't have what is justice? We don't have justice in here yet. See if we get him. He makes it into the live. But where you at there, King Matt? King Matt, by the way, what degrees do you knowledge? See, that's what happens these days too. See, a lot of people get exposed. They get exposed to a lot of more knowledge than occurred, in my time. In my time, it was, it wasn't like the internet where, so, you there and you just hearing somebody speaking, like even this, I'm interacting with y'all, but sometimes, a person is just speaking a topic, and then, back then, brothers, being that everything was face to face, there was no reason for a brother to be speaking above your head. Sometimes now, you see brothers speaking on degrees that they're not on that degree. He said, the 1 in 10, the 1 in 36, until the equality degree in the 1 in 14. Very good. He says, so I draw up the 9th degree, talking about the nation of our self-Lord and Master as having no birth record, in the 10th degree, and the 10th degrees are the wrong foods that have, in the 10th degree are the wrong foods that do have one. Oh, that's what you're saying. And so, hold on, let me back up here and see if I can catch on to what you're saying. You said any idea other than our self-Lord and Master. Okay, so now I'm here with you now. So now that's the degree. But I'm saying, what are you including as Islam? See, because, right there, you just talked about, Buddhism and Christianity and Islam. So if you're saying, Islam as opposed to religion, right? Is that what you mean when you say Islam? You said, will I go back over how I see 10, 10, 64 again? I'm not, I got some, how would you say, I don't know this to be true. People, I've been around, why is Druid up there? Happy we agreed that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you want a day to celebrate, you know what I'm saying? I mean, me personally, I don't see nothing wrong with January 1st, whatever the day it doesn't. If you just need a day to see, when we talk about the steps and stages, right, that Allah went through, from being born to, coming to New York, going to Korea, all of these different things, the whole time this science is developing, man. You know what I'm saying? So, there's people that, they met line 63. And he was already telling them that, yeah, I'm a lot, see me. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, yo, he gave out flyers and told all the kids to meet me here on this particular day right here. And now we can say this is the day. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like how we got the knowledge. That's why we call him Allah. See what I'm saying? See, we got the knowledge where it's like, okay, yeah, somebody showed us that, and then we made a decision on a day, right, that you can identify. But there's other things that, you wouldn't, if you say, yo, what was the day that you became mad nice at basketball? You understand what I'm saying? That is something that developed, like, yeah, well, my handle, you know what I'm saying, got good at this point in time. You know what I mean? But my jump shot got good at another time. And then, at this other time, I could dunk it. Or, whatever, however it develops, whatever it is that you're doing. But, that's always going to be the difficulty about trying to, uh, isolate something like that. But so yeah, King Mav, born and lodged in the building. What's the deal? But King Mav, so you said right here, so you said what I mean is once you bring religion into it, it's not right and exact. Yeah, but see, I mean that's what we're doing here, right? We're going through some jewels. You know what I'm saying? See that you because you have a lot of questions, right? And you clearly you studying your lessons, right? Because you got questions about it, right? And you're trying to come to an understanding, right? So I'm helping you right now. Uh, let's put it just in the form of let's just say Islam, right? Right now, do you agree that there is a religion called Islam? I'm gonna come back to everybody else's comment in a minute. I see you in here, Phil G, with a question. Well, you made a comment right there. We come in. Green one said, the way I see that, which the guy said is ourself, we are the master, is the way of the original people. So any food and way of living is grafted any other way other than ourself, we are the master, and the right food is a byproduct of a grafted fruit way of life. Jiggy 1017, you always got some crazy shit to say. Is that I totally understand and can agree. I've always wondered if Allah made a decree from this day forth, but should there also still be a timestamp in history? I mean, look, uh, you know, the timestamp is the people. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you meet the people and they tell you when their history began, that's the only timestamp we need. That I need at least. You know what I'm saying? Because see, I don't recall the day when I got the knowledge because that's how it was. I was maintaining with the brothers and I'm being exposed to the knowledge over a period of time. And then, like I said, once I seen the mathematics, that's what really, you know, I understood now all the stuff they was talking about. You said, okay, so King Math, you said, yeah, I would, but that in particular has a birth record. So you're saying the religion of Islam has a birth record, right? Okay, so what is the difference, right, between that Islam and what you're talking about? Yeah, I know around the time I got the knowledge, but I don't recall. Like you talking about the exact day, I don't recall the exact day. I recall the year. Yeah, I recall the stage of life I was in and all that. 10th grade. Robbie said the most important time stamp is when you got the knowledge, is that was the day that our collective knowledge got brighter. And listen, you know, I think I told this story on here before, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, however it came up, brothers started talking about how long they had the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Brothers started talking about how long they had the knowledge. And, you know, with all these people over here, you know, they was talking about how, and I had the knowledge for a little bit of time at that time. So as these people was talking, you know, and then I said how long I had the knowledge, you know, and it was, you know, it was kind of a little like, oh man, got the knowledge. So firstborn prince is standing right there. We in here. We are right out there in the front. He's standing by the door, right? So after I said how long I had the knowledge, this other brother says, yeah, you know, I had the knowledge like 2 months or something. Firstborn prince said, I heard that. It doesn't matter when you got it. The only things that matter is that you got it. So, lesson learned. So King Mab said that Islam is similar to other religions in you submitting to someone outside of yourself. Also, ourself, Lord and Master, has always been practiced. The religion Islam sparked in the 7th century. Okay, so what does that mean? Practice. When you said, ourself, Lord and Master, has always been practiced. Got Almighty Prayers, Charlie Dreams, Steph Soul. So what do you mean by that practice? So Phil G said the wrong food can be taking a person's word for it, dealing in faith and not knowledge. See, boy, like you know these people is not ready. That's why we down. That's why we came down to 136 today. That's oh man. Almighty prayers. Robbie said I recalled a year in the month, but it was happening since I was watching Spider-Man and such as a child in church. Yeah, you know, I was playing Double Dragon video game. We was playing, I think, what was the name of that game? Cruising? That was one of the first games you played for $1. Mike Tyson Punch Out. You know, who's Shaheem Freedom Allah? So King Math said practice means put in use. It's always been the original man's culture and principle. Okay, now look, I'm gonna because we're gonna do too much cat and mouse here. You see, where I'm going with this, right, is that Islam is not just the belief in religion or the lack of belief in religion. You see what I'm saying? See, Islam is the way you walk, the way you talk, the clothes you wear, the women you be around. You understand what I'm saying? You know, all of these things, when you say practice, right? That means something that you're doing as opposed to something that you believe. See, that's a very important distinction. And see, like I said, once you realize that and you're looking at like I said, food on every level, right? Food is fuel for the body, right? But so is oxygen, so is light, so is water. You understand what I'm saying? And on all of those things, you know, just like you need certain gases to survive, right? There's certain swine of gases too. That if you breathe that in, you will cease to exist. You understand what I'm saying? Islam is, you know, they you know, algebra and chemistry and physics and all of these things that we got to use to build. See, that's the difference between what we saying, right? This is not just a religious world, a spiritual world, something that we're not going to experience 100% until after we die. It's all this reality right here. See, Islam is when you go outside and you building with the people. You see what I'm saying? When see some of y'all like to say that, you know, well, I can't build because, you know, I'm the only 5% around my way, which is false. Because if you're the only 5%, you're not a 5%. You didn't listen. Poor righteous teacher. Now you might be poor. You might be righteous. But you didn't fulfill the category of teacher. And this is the main thing. See, you could change the poor. You know, you might try to walk the line, right, of righteous and unrighteous. But you can't change the teacher part. You can't change that part. But see, that's what I'm saying. Those things that you have to do, look, even the studies that you know you partake in, the different studies that you partake in so that your knowledge and wisdom can be at a level where you can tell people about what's going on around them and how it got from point A to point B. See, don't forget that all of that is Islam. You understand what I'm saying? And in the same token, like you're saying, right, on all of those levels, there's a pig. See, like I was saying earlier before you came on, you know, when you come into the knowledge and you do your fast and you get your dietary law, right? You know, if you're around the right brothers, they'll tell you that, you know, pig is just one kind of swine, right? That's the swine on the land. But we got swine of the air, right? We got swine of the sea. There's a certain science to all of that. Do you know about the science of uh, entropy? Do you know about the science of entropy in the food chain? Does anybody remember that? We went over that on here before. Let me see. See, that's the thing. That's why I'm taking all this shit down. Cause y'all ain't doing, see, that's equality. See, y'all motherfuckers want to say y'all like me. See, I got to hear this shit one time. You know, see, because you gotta remember when things wasn't written down in the beginning. So everybody had to be like this. Everybody was good at multiplying. And so they didn't have a lot of patience. See, Born Allah can tell you about that. You know, They're not going to tell you something. If they got to tell you something 3 times, they're not telling you nothing else after that. And listen, if they do, it better be like one thing. Like, yo, God, do knowledge. I recall the whole thing that you told me, except this one thing right here. And then they be like, all right, you know, they just, but you just coming back like, God, what you saying, God, I still ain't understand. All right. Listen, I'm not even gonna tell y'all what they say next, man. You know, but it's gonna be friendly. It's gonna be friendly. See, you're not even gonna know that you just disqualified yourself. You're not even gonna know. But you ain't hearing nothing all this 3-4 times, and you rewinding and all of that. Nah, bro. But so King Master, he's not familiar with the entropy in the food chain. Freedom culture, sharing love. Oh, all right, I see what you're saying. The Shaheen Freedom. Yeah, you said his name one time. See, that's the thing about these names, right? Just in general, people's names, right? Like you gotta, you gotta do something. It's gotta be something that I attach.
You never believe that entropy is actually based on chaos theory.
Yeah, that's you in another level. You understand what I'm saying? See, because the entropy, yeah, and different because entropies is about closed systems. So different systems is built different, so the entropy is going to apply a little bit different. But we'll get back to that. You see, people all of a sudden everybody's Isaac Newton. Freedom culture said the wrong food is anything that doesn't contribute to building if that's what you're trying to do. Righteous Allah. Okay, so here we go, King Math, right? The source of all the energy that's in food, right, is the sun, right? Because the sunlight is food for the plants as well as it's food for us, right? You know, there's certain kind of light that affect you negatively. There's swan of light. There's on every level, right? But so the sunlight shines on to the plants, right? So the sunlight represents 100% of the sunlight. When the plant absorbs the sunlight, it uses 90% of that energy for the processes of its own life. And when you eat the plant, there's only 10% of that energy left. And that's what you consume, right? But we don't just eat plants, right? We eat animals that eat plants, right? So when that animal eats that 10% of what's left, right? It uses 90% of that. It uses 90% of that for its own processes of life, right? And only 10% is left. But now that 10% of the 10%, right, that the plant left over, right, from what came from the sun is now only 1% of that original sunlight energy that's available. So see, once you pass that level, right, you don't know what something has eaten. Like, see, you don't know what a tiger's eat. You understand what I'm saying? If you eat, a tiger, you might say, okay, well, the tiger ate the cow. Yeah, but the tiger also could have ate some other scavenger. The tiger could have ate a hyena or something if he was hungry enough. And so now you got no way of knowing. You got no way of knowing what it is that you eat. So it's science to all this stuff. But look it up. Look it up. It's called entropy in the food chain. But it's scientifically why I don't eat certain things. Double edge. The name like double edge. And today's justice. So what say you? So I was just doing the knowledge to the last video posted about which piece of steel they use, and I noticed the live. Yeah. Well, we got a couple more minutes. We're gonna try to catch the store there. We're gonna catch the store there. Can't let y'all make me miss anything like y'all always do. But so yeah, King Math, check that out. And understand that like I said, I don't make stuff up. I'm not the only source of the things that I'm saying. Because in reality, these things is just, from my individual study of the universe, right? I've accumulated certain knowledge. My individual, study of the universe, the phenomenon, and everything that derives from it. But there's other scientists too that's observing all the same phenomena. And those of us that's being scientific, we come into the same conclusions, because we seeing the same stimulus and the same results. So this is who and what deters minds about right and wrong. Okay, now, are you saying determines? Is that because my phone is like that? But I'll be putting something in it, because deters minds. I mean, I can see where you're going with that, but see, we got so many different people on here and so many different walks of life. You gotta just speak regularly. You see what I'm saying? Because this might be some form of symbolism that you understand, but then we all might don't understand. Determines. Okay, so Double S said Christianity, Buddhism, any product derived from a pig, scavengers, or isn't natural, right? So who determines right from wrong? I mean, is that, you can observe what is right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what determines right and wrong is the outcome of how it affects the people around you. What you said? So, that's actually a good question, was, and oddly enough, nah, I didn't think it wasn't a lot of NOI at the street unveiling for the sign for Elijah Muhammad. I mean, first of all, I was shocked that that's the first street named for Elijah Muhammad in the country. I would think that Detroit and Chicago would at least have a little Elijah Muhammad square or something. But like I said, that being your first one, I'm thinking, it's going to be, representing all the temples around the nation. But I mean, what's the word? I thought it was gonna be a much bigger. I thought it was gonna be a much bigger event. And I'm saying, even in terms of just street signings in New York, street unveilings in New York in general. They garner a little more attention from the people who's the reason. But even in terms of Temple number 7, And look, they probably had their own plan. I'm not a part of what they was doing, so maybe that's how it was supposed to be. But even Temple number 7, they appeared to just be, business as usual. You know what I'm saying? So, and then that too. Uh, you know, once Elijah returned, you got a lot of different factions. You understand what I'm saying? So maybe the brothers who got the sign is not in particular with Farrakhan's faction. I don't know. I just thought it was going to be more. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking Elijah Muhammad. So Righteous Allah said, mystery is 28, a trader making interpretations from a source unknown. Okay, when did that happen? Yeah, West Coast. They said that was the first. That was with the dude. That's what the guy said at the event. I didn't do a search for it, but you probably could do it if you know how you could type in an address on like Google Maps or Apple Maps, and then it tells you all of the streets that got that name all over the country. Double Edge said might have something to do with Malcolm. Now look, and see, this is not saying nothing because it wasn't like the people who got the sign did it on purpose. And the reality is that just the way the signs are in New York, the avenue signs sit higher up on the pole than the street signs. So the sign for Lenox Avenue, and also Malcolm X Boulevard, which Lenox Avenue was changed to, right? Is higher up on the pole that says 127th Street and Elijah Muhammad. So it was just an observation that I made. I'm absolutely not trying to start any trouble and saying anybody did anything on purpose. But to me, it was just something I noticed. So Righteous Law, you're saying that 488 years ago, a trader making interpretations from a source unknown. Okay. Who's this trader you speak of? Edward Green. Edward Green goes pretty far back with us. We're coming up on the 4-year anniversary. Of the Random Jews channel, that is. See, look. See, I get in this. This is how you just. This is a good example. You see how a minute ago. You see how a minute ago. What's the brother's name? King Math. See how a minute ago King Math was on the hot seat, and then righteous Allah said something. That's exactly how you should be. Hey, look, that's Islam. Yeah, when you got some time, and you got some time. And we had a union. You had seniority. Hey, what happened to? We haven't seen. What was my man name? That remember he had us going through. He had us going through Yakub for like the first. That was like the first 3 weeks or something, man. So we him and Mr. Spock. You said a trader is a person that comes among you from another said nation. But see, here's the thing. That's a general definition of trader, right? But what I'm asking you is for the specific person, because this is specific. You said 488 years ago, right? As opposed to 489 years ago, 504 years ago, 300 years ago, right? So, who is that individual? I'm saying. No, you still got 793rd. Mr. Spock is up there in the beginning. Mr. Greenway is one of the originators. Robbie came in pretty early. Only was one of the first 20. So with it, peace. Define understanding. But wait, oh yeah, so you that's a continuation, but yeah, I'm looking for the specific trader you're speaking about right there when you say 488 years ago. First of all, does anybody have that calculation? 488 years ago is what year was that? You said it had to be an Arab trader. All right, now look, I'm gonna tell you something. Three things. See, first of all, you gotta realize that yeah. See, one thing you gotta realize, right, is that you had high scientists out here in the world, like Arabi and Bornullah, that's been teaching very scientifically. You feel me? So when you come, to do your teaching, right? The people gonna so King Master this year that he's talking about. No, I'm on here. Wait. Is it 1555 or 1635? Okay, 1535. Right? Double-edged acid, we're talking about John Harding Hawkins. Okay. If it's 1535, we can't be talking about John Hawkins. And here's the question. I got a question for you. Right, you said it had to be an Arab trader, right? So why the lesson don't say the Arabic lesson C number 1? No. Let me ask you a question. Have you drawn this up, or you just freestyle? See, because lots of things. I got another question for you. Right? The 9,000 miles in the swimming, right? Did the Arabic slave trade go over thousands of miles of water? That says South America is America also. This is, I'm always a little bit confused, right? When people tell me two things, it's the same thing. Like if you said South America is America also. Okay, so what is America? So like you said, Muslim sons were taught by Muhammad. Okay, now, I'm just saying, dealing with time now, right? You said this trader came 488 years ago, right? But if you're talking about Muslim sons were taught by Muhammad, if you're talking about in our born degree, that was about 1,488 years ago. Like 1,488 versus 488. So at this point, right? At this point, I can see clearly you freestyling, right? You've been dealing with the lessons. But part of being civilized, right, is learning to be scientific about things. You know what I'm saying? Learning that, there's there's environments, there's stimulus, and there's various outcomes. Righteous Allah says swim means praise in the Quran. I'm definitely not an expert on the Quran. I can't say it does or it doesn't. How exactly do you tie that in? How's that? Like, are you saying that swimming 9,000 miles means to give praise?
All right, please go.
Praise your money. Yep. Is that what you're saying? Right? Sure. Look, double edge. Don't get you. Don't get a headache. It's not. See, explain you something double edge. See, I see me. And don't get me wrong. You're an expert too, but I'm an expert. You understand what I'm saying? So I can deal with stuff like this, right? When I want to, because I don't always want to, right? But see, don't try to make sense out of stuff that don't make sense. Like, see, you're never going to think, right? Stuff that's not logical, right, is never going to make sense. You're never going to say, yo, somebody did something stupid, right? You go, oh, I see what happened. You understand what I'm saying? If somebody, it's different if somebody make a mistake. I'm saying somebody do something just stupid, not dumb, that you dumb, deaf, and blind, you don't know. Stupid. See, when you sit there and try to make sense out of that, right? Like you sitting there, it's like, look, you going exploring, looking for heaven. You ain't gonna find it, eh? You understand what I'm saying? It's a waste of time. You understand what I mean? That is a part of the search for that does not exist. See, a lot of people get mad at me because I realize this. See, and I'm not certain people are like, no, I'm not going down that rabbit hole with you. So wait, you said civilized, God not civilized? Is this Abdul Rahman? Is this Abdul Rahman? Because this is the type of shit I like. You use, you use a little bit off. Not one thing you said was exact. You said a couple things that but not one thing you said was right and exact. And then now you come out and say this. Well, hey, listen. Now look, this is we're gonna end the live right here. This is why I put my cash out there. And see, to deal with stuff like this, y'all supposed to pay me. Come on. But look, we're gonna end the live with this right here. But I gotta go to the store. Right? You have just got, listen, forget about the whole first hour of this live. Forget about everything I said. Because you don't need what I said no more. I mean, it's good that you heard it. But see, what just happened right here, if you have gotten a front row seat to the wrong foods. Righteous Live, look, I should put Righteous Live instead of Darkim Live on this one because listen, I come on here, I talk for an hour, and then you come on and teach like that, just without even breaking a sweat. Everybody gotta get their game up like this right here, man. Everybody got but listen, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off and say peace, man. Hopefully, the store is still open. I can get me some got degrees and other festive materials. Peace.